In the heart of the city, the streets were dark and ominous, a breeding ground for crime and corruption. It was a place where the law was often ignored, and justice was hard to come by. But one man was determined to change that. Detective Jack Stone had spent his entire career fighting the forces of darkness and corruption that plagued the city. Stone was a hardened detective who had seen it all. He was smart, resourceful, and never gave up until the case was solved. But his latest case would test his skills like never before. It started with the murder of a wealthy businessman whose body was found in his penthouse apartment. Stone was called to the scene, and he knew right away that this was not going to be an ordinary case. The victim had been shot multiple times, and there were no signs of forced entry or struggle. The only clue was a note left at the scene, with the words, "The shadow of the night," written on it. Stone was determined to find the killer, but the case proved to be elusive. He dug deep into the victim's past, looking for any clues or connections that might lead him to the killer. He interviewed the victim's family and friends, but none of them seemed to have a motive for the murder. As Stone continued his investigation, he began to uncover a web of deceit and corruption that extended far beyond the victim's circle. He discovered that the victim had been involved in illegal activities and that he had made many enemies in the criminal underworld. Stone's investigation took him to the darkest corners of the city, where he encountered danger at every turn. But he was determined to solve the case, and he knew that he was getting closer. Finally, after months of hard work, Stone had a breakthrough. He discovered that the victim's business partner, who had been thought to have died in a car accident, was actually alive and well, and had faked his own death to escape the victim's wrath. He had killed the victim in revenge for ruining his life, and had left the note to taunt Stone. But just when Stone thought he had solved the case, there was a shocking twist. The real mastermind behind the murder was none other than Stone's own partner, who had been working with the killer all along. Stone was betrayed by the person he trusted the most, and he realized that he had been played for a fool. In the end, Stone solved the case and brought the killer to justice. But the experience left him shaken and disillusioned. He knew that the city was a dark and dangerous place, and that even the people he trusted could turn on him at any moment. But he also knew that he had to keep fighting, to protect the innocent and uphold the law, no matter what the cost.